In the year 2254, humanity was no longer confined to the blue marble once known as Earth. The stars were now within reach, and with the leaps in interstellar travel, new horizons beckoned. Yet the infinite vastness of space was not solely a human domain. On the outskirts of the Orion Belt, a first contact was made, not with hostilities but with an overwhelming silence that prefaced the storm. The Amari, a race of female warrior aliens known for their might and societal structure reminiscent of the ancient Amazons of Earth, observed humanity from afar. Their planet, Amara, was a verdant world where cities intertwined with nature, reflecting their reverence for life, contrasting starkly against their prowess in battle. These beings, towering and muscular, with skins of emerald green and eyes like molten gold, valued strength and honor above all. As Earth's united government extended its reach into unknown territories, the Amari watched, intrigued by these new neighbors. Human history was rife with conflicts, a trait that initially made the Amari cautious. However, their curiosity led them to a startling realization. Humans, for all their past, were now a race reluctant of warfare, weary of the horrors that once ravaged their own world. Captain Alara Thorne, the appointed ambassador of Earth, stood aboard the Starbound, staring at the holographic displays that illustrated their nearing approach to the Amari borders. Beside her stood her advisor, Dr. Liam Russo, a man whose life's work had revolved around xenosociology. The Amari are unlike any we've met. Strong, proud, they see war as an art, almost sacred, Dr. Russo briefed, adjusting his glasses. But they also see the futility in it, much like we now do. Alara nodded, her mind racing with diplomatic strategies. It's about respect, then, showing them that we understand not just the valor in battle, but the valor in peace. Their first meeting was to occur on Neutral Station Alpha, a space station that orbited a dead star, serving as common ground for first contacts. As the Starbound docked, the air was thick with anticipation. A delegation of Amari, led by War Commander Naira, awaited them. Naira was a sight to behold, nearly 7 feet tall, her presence commanding immediate respect. Her hair was braided back into a cascade of dark green waves, her armor reflecting the light with a polished sheen. "Captain Thorne," she greeted, her voice resonant and surprisingly warm. "We welcome you in peace for now. We seek to understand your kind." Alara stepped forward, extending a hand, a human gesture of peace. Nira looked at it, hesitating before taking it in her own. The contact was symbolic, bridging millennia of isolation between their races. "We come in peace too," Alara replied. "We have much to learn from each other." Over the following hours, they exchanged knowledge. Humanity's journey to the stars, their technological advancements, and their cultural shifts towards peace piqued the interest of the Amari. Nira listened intently, her expression unreadable. "Your evolution is fascinating. You fear war, yet you prepare for it. Why?" Alara met her gaze steadily. "Because we remember its cost. We prepare, hoping never to relive it." The Amari commander nodded slowly, a paradox not unfamiliar to us. As the meeting concluded, an unexpected alert sounded through the station. A rogue faction from another alien race known for their belligerence was approaching. The Amari and humans, moments ago engaged in peaceful dialogue, now faced a common threat. As the alarms blared through the corridors of Neutral Station Alpha, the combined delegation of humans and Amari raced to the command center. The holographic screens flickered to life, displaying the approaching ships, a squadron of Zaltrax raiders notorious for their predatory strikes on diplomatic vessels. "Typical Zaltrax tactics," Dr. Russo muttered under his breath, eyes fixed on the screen. "Hit fast, hit hard, and retreat before a defense can be mounted." Commander Naira, standing tall beside Captain Thorne, surveyed the data with a tactical eye. "They underestimate us. This will be their undoing." Alara nodded, her heart racing. "What's our best move here?" Naira's gaze shifted towards the human captain, a spark of respect kindling in her golden eyes. "We fight side by side. Your technology, our tactics. They won't expect a unified front." Rapidly, the Amari and human crews began their preparations. Human officers distributed photon rifles and activated the station's shield defenses, while Amari warriors donned their vibro armor, a shimmering mesh that hardened upon impact. Outside the station, the dark void of space was pierced by the thrusters of Zaltrak's ships, sleek and predatory, like sharks circling their prey. But today, the prey was ready. "Align our communication channels," Alara commanded. "Continuous updates, no surprises." As the first Zaltrak ship came within firing range, the station's turrets, under Amari control, responded with precision blasts. A direct hit to the lead ship's engine sent it spiraling into the abyss, its hull rupturing in a silent explosion. Naira turned to Alara, a slight nod acknowledging the first victory. "Well begun, but stay vigilant." The battle escalated quickly. Zaltrak's fighters, agile and ruthless, darted through space, unleashing volleys of plasma fire. The human-Amari alliance responded with synchronized tactics, combining the station's heavy artillery with the Amari's expertly piloted interceptors. Inside the command center, tension mounted as casualty reports started coming in. Alara's voice was steady over the comms, rallying her troops, while Naira directed her warriors with an unyielding calm. Suddenly, a Zaltrak's cruiser broke through the defensive perimeter, aiming directly for the station's core. The impact would be catastrophic. "We have to repel that cruiser," Alara said, pointing to the incoming threat. Naira's response was swift. "I'll lead a strike team. We'll take them head-on." Before Alara could protest, Nira and a squad of Amari warriors were already boarding a fast attack shuttle. The bay doors closed with a resolute hiss, and the shuttle rocketed into the fray. Watching through the command center's viewports, Alara felt a mix of awe and fear as the shuttle danced between Zaltrak's fighters, closing in on the cruiser. Then, with a daring maneuver that spoke of the Amari's legendary skills, Nira's team boarded the enemy vessel. The battle outside seemed to pause, the outcome hanging on the bravery of those aboard the Zaltrak's cruiser. Minutes passed like hours until a burst of light from within the cruiser signaled the end. It drifted, lifeless, as Naira's shuttle re-emerged, battered but victorious. Back aboard the station, when Naira strode into the command center, the respect was palpable. Alara stepped forward, extending her hand once again. "Your courage turned the tide." Nira clasped her hand, the alliance sealed not just by mutual interests, but by shared blood and battle. "Together, we are formidable." As the remnants of the Zaltrak's fleet retreated after the skirmish with the Zaltrak's raiders, a new day dawned on Neutral Station Alpha. The corridors, once filled with the echoing alarm, now resonated with the clinking of Amari and human engineers working side by side, repairing the damage inflicted by the battle. Each weld and bolt not only restored the station, but also strengthened the burgeoning alliance between the two races. Captain Alara Thorne and Commander Naira convened in the recently repaired strategy room, surrounded by digital maps and tactical displays that projected the vastness of their neighboring territories. The previous day's victory was a mere precursor to the discussions that would lay the groundwork for a formal alliance. "As much as strength, we value foresight," Nira began, her voice firm. "The Zaltraks will retaliate. We must be ready." Alara nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "We need a joint defense pact, shared technology and training programs. But more than that, we need to understand each other's cultures deeply. Misunderstandings could easily undermine what we are trying to build here." Nira agreed with a solemn nod. "Let us then decree an exchange. I propose an Amari phalanx stationed on Earth and a human fleet at Amara. They will not only serve as military support but as cultural envoys." The proposition resonated with Alara, the potential for a deep-rooted partnership clear in her mind. "Agreed. And let's initiate a series of joint missions, space explorations, humanitarian efforts, perhaps even a shared outpost in uncharted territory." Their conversation was interrupted by Dr. Liam Russo, who entered with a sense of urgency. "Captains, we've intercepted a distress signal. It's a civilian freighter not far from here under attack by pirates." Naira's eyes narrowed. "Pirates often scout for Zaltraks. This could be a trap." Alara stood decisively. "A trap or not, we cannot ignore it. Commander, let's deploy a mixed response team. It's a chance to test our combined strength." Within the hour, a swift response team comprising both Amari warriors and human special forces was dispatched. The freighter was besieged, caught in the gravitational pull of a rogue asteroid. Pirate vessels swarmed around it like vultures. The joint team, aboard the nimble starship Aegis, approached under stealth. As they neared, a tactical hologram in the center of Aegis's bridge displayed their options. Nira pointed at a narrow approach vector that would use the asteroid's bulk to shield them from the pirate scanners. "Use the asteroid's shadow. Approach from there and we strike hard and fast," she instructed. The operation was swift. As Aegis slid from the asteroid's shadow, human and Amari fighters poured out in a tightly coordinated assault. The pirates, caught off guard, scrambled to mount a defense, but were quickly overwhelmed. The human Amari team boarded the freighter, securing it and rescuing the crew with minimal casualties. Back on the station, the success of the rescue mission was celebrated as a testament to the effectiveness of their alliance. The rescued freighter captain, grateful beyond words, offered a cache of rare minerals as thanks, a boon for the station's continued repairs. In the aftermath, Ilara and Nira reviewed the mission's footage, analyzing the seamless integration of their tactics. "Today we saved lives together," Ilara said, a hint of pride in her voice. Nira responded, her tone reflective. "And perhaps in doing so, we have started to save our own souls from the scars of war." The aftermath of the rescue mission lingered in the air of Neutral Station Alpha, like the subtle hum of its engines. Commander Nira and Captain Ilara Thorne found themselves in the station's observatory, gazing out at the scattering of stars, their conversation drifting from tactical alliances to philosophical musings. "Warrior cultures like the Amari often find it challenging to pivot from conflict to peace," Nira mused, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "The universe demands adaptability, not just strength." Ilara considered this, watching a comet trace a silent arc across the black canvas outside. "Humans have a saying, to make peace, keep peace. We're learning that more from you than you might think." Their shared reflections were interrupted by an urgent communication from Dr. Liam Russo. "Captains, we've detected an anomaly near the edge of the Vela sector. It's unlike anything we've recorded before." Intrigued, both leaders hastened to the command center. The main screen displayed a fluctuating anomaly, its edges shimmering with an eerie light that seemed to pulse in rhythm with some unseen heartbeat. "A natural phenomenon?" Ilara queried, her voice tinged with skepticism. "Possibly," Dr. Russo replied, adjusting the sensors to zoom in on the anomaly. "But it's emitting a patterned signal. It's almost like it's communicating." Nira leaned forward, her tactical mind analyzing the pattern. "A distress signal or a beacon. Either way, it's a call." Without hesitation, Ilara decided, "We investigate. Prepare the Aegis for a reconnaissance mission. Nira, will your people join us?" "With honor," Nira affirmed, her warrior spirit undimmed by the unknown. Aboard the Aegis, the atmosphere was charged with a mix of anticipation and apprehension as the ship approached the coordinates of the anomaly. As they drew closer, the pulsing light intensified, bathing the bridge in a ghostly glow. "Readings are off the charts," the Amari science officer reported, her instruments struggling to make sense of the data. "The structure of this anomaly doesn't conform to known physics. It's as if it exists partially out of our dimension." Nira and Ilara exchanged a glance, a silent agreement passing between them that this was no ordinary mission. The Aegis edged closer, the anomaly now filling the viewports, its core a swirling vortex of light and shadow. Suddenly the ship shuddered, caught in the gravitational pull of the anomaly. Alarms blared, and the crew scrambled to stabilize their vessel. "We need to pull back!" shouted the human pilot, his hands flying over the controls. "No, wait!" Nira interjected, her eyes locked on the shifting patterns of the anomaly. "It's a pattern. It's repeating. It's not just random. It's a message." Using the ship's advanced decryption algorithms, they fed the pulsing signals into the system. Moments later, the screen flickered and displayed a series of coordinates, a star map pointing to a location deep within uncharted space. "It's a star map!" Dr. Russo gasped, his excitement palpable. "And those coordinates aren't in any known database. This isn't just a call. It's an invitation! Ilara felt a thrill of discovery, mixed with the weight of responsibility. This changes everything. We follow the map. Nira nodded, her expression resolute. To the stars that beckon. With the anomaly now a guide, the Aegis set a course for the mysterious coordinates. As the ship prepared to jump to hyperspace, Ilara and Nira stood side by side on the bridge, the universe unfolding its secrets before them, each star a note in the symphony of the cosmos, beckoning them to a destiny written in the light of forgotten stars. The Aegis hurtled through hyperspace, its destination set by the mysterious coordinates that had emerged from the anomaly. As the fabric of space-time folded around the ship, the crew of Amari and humans prepared for the uncertainties that lay ahead. The star map was a cryptic enigma, pointing to a sector of the galaxy uncharted and unnamed, where no ship, human or Amari, had ventured before. Within the confined space of the ship, the close quarters brought the crew closer together, their camaraderie forged in the shared furnace of curiosity and caution. Nira spent hours with Ilara, strategizing every possible scenario they might encounter, from hostile entities to environmental hazards. We must be prepared to face not just the unknown, but perhaps the unknowable, Nira cautioned, her eyes scanning the latest sensor updates. The data was baffling, energy readings that didn't fit any known patterns, and matter distributions that seemed to defy physics. As they approached the end of their hyperspace journey, the tension on the bridge was palpable. The crew members held their breath as the Aegis emerged from hyperspace into a system dominated by a colossal blue supergiant star, its brilliant light casting an eerie pall over everything. The coordinates led them to a seemingly empty point in space, but as their eyes adjusted to the intense light and the sensors recalibrated, an astonishing sight unfolded before them. A massive, translucent structure, drifting in orbit around the star, like a mirage made of light and shadow. "It's a station," Dr. Russo whispered, his voice a mix of awe and disbelief, or something like it. "But I've never seen architecture like this. It doesn't appear to be built. It's almost grown." Ilara leaned forward, scrutinizing the structure. "There's an elegance to it, a harmony with its surroundings that's unlike any technology we know. Can we establish communication?" Attempts to communicate with the station were met with silence. The structure remained enigmatic, its purpose and origin a mystery. Yet it emanated a soft, pulsating light, as if responding to their presence. Nira suggested a bold move. "We should send a team to explore it. If it's a trap, we'll need to know, and if it's a beacon, we may not get another invitation." Ilara agreed, and a mixed team of Amari and human explorers was assembled. They approached the structure in a shuttle, the exterior of which seemed to shift and shimmer as they drew closer, reacting to their presence. The interior of the structure was even more baffling. Corridors and chambers formed and reformed, the walls alive with pulsating lights. The explorers found no signs of life, yet the station did not feel abandoned. It felt expectant, as if it had been waiting for them. Deep within the core of the structure, they discovered what appeared to be a control center, dominated by a vast holographic display showing star systems, galaxies, and mysterious symbols that defied translation. "It's a map," Dr. Russo said, examining the holograms. "But not just any map. It's a network, possibly a map of portals or wormholes, linking distant parts of the universe." Nira looked over the display, her strategic mind racing. "This could change the power dynamics of the entire galaxy. If we can understand it, harness it." Ilara considered the implications. "It's a gift, or a test. Either way, we need to understand it fully." The decision was made to establish a research base on the mysterious station. As the Aegis continued its vigil in orbit, the teams worked tirelessly, unraveling the secrets of the structure. What they learned would eventually lead them back to the anomaly that had brought them here. The research base on the translucent structure, now affectionately dubbed the Nexus by the crew, became a beacon of scientific and exploratory progress. As weeks turned into months, the combined efforts of the Amari and human scientists began to bear fruit. The mysterious holographic displays within the Nexus were not merely maps, but interfaces, control panels designed to manipulate the very fabric of space-time. Dr. Liam Russo, together with Amari physicist Tella Miran, led the research team. Their breakthrough came when they managed to activate what appeared to be a dormant portal within the nexus. The portal shimmered with the same pulsating light that had first drawn the Aegis to this part of the galaxy, a gateway to realms beyond their wildest imaginations. "This is more than an artifact, it's a machine," Tella explained, her voice echoing in the vast chamber. "It seems to be powered by the star itself. The supergiant's energy is harnessed to stabilize the wormhole." As the portal stabilized, Alara and Naira stood before it, the weight of their decision palpable in the air. They had agreed that understanding this technology was paramount, not just for their peoples, but for the potential implications for all known species. The risks were immense, but the call to explore was undeniable. "We should send a probe through first," Alara proposed, always cautious, her duty to her crew and the Alliance paramount in her mind. Naira agreed, her warrior ethos tempered by the shared responsibility of their mission. "Once we ascertain the safety, we'll follow. This is what we've prepared for." The first probe transmitted back incredible data. It had emerged in a distant galaxy, millions of light years from the Milky Way, a place where no human or Amari could have dreamed of reaching by conventional means. The images showed vibrant nebulae, alien worlds teeming with unknown forms of life, and civilizations that flickered with technological advancements. With the portal's safety confirmed, a mixed team of Amari and human explorers was assembled. Naira and Alara, leading the team, stepped through the portal, their bodies enveloped in the radiant light. They emerged on the other side to a view of a bustling spaceport surrounded by beings of various shapes and sizes. The air was filled with the hum of alien languages and the sweet scent of unknown spices. "This is our first step into a larger universe," Alara whispered to Naira, a sense of wonder overtaking the initial shock. Naira nodded, her eyes wide with the realization of their new reality. "Our ancestors looked at the stars and saw gods and monsters. Now we walk among them." The Nexus, once a silent, waiting giant in the dark, became a crossroads for numerous civilizations, each bringing their own knowledge and cultures to the table. Trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchanges flourished, with the Amari and humans at the heart of this new interstellar community. Back on Earth and Amara, news of the successful mission sparked a renaissance of thought and technology. The old fears of the unknown began to dissolve, replaced by an insatiable curiosity about the universe and the myriad forms of life it housed. As the Alliance grew stronger, so did their understanding of the Nexus. It was not merely a tool, but perhaps a message, a testament to the interconnectedness of all life, regardless of origin. In the grand tapestry of the cosmos, each thread, each species, each individual was integral. In the closing moments of this monumental chapter, as Alara and Naira looked out over the new horizons opened before them, they knew that the challenges ahead were as boundless as the opportunities. But they faced them not as representatives of their own worlds, but as pioneers of a united vision, looking towards a future where the stars were not points of light in the dark, but destinations, each holding the promise of new beginnings.